suppressors for everyone.
Well, not quite.
So you're telling me that the title of this video was Click Rage Bait?
Stay tuned. Welcome to the Urban Defense Podcast, and in tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the recent alterations to the NFA. But first, remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
So, Duane, if you wouldn't mind, could you please give me and our wonderful viewers the cliff notes of what is the NFA?
Well, certainly. So the NFA was established in 1934, and essentially what it did was it placed regulations on things like silencers, also known as suppressors, machine guns, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, destructive devices, and things that they called any other weapons. And the purpose of this was to combat some of the problems that they were having with the criminal element of the era, the gangsters, the bootleggers, Bonnie and Clyde, that sort of stuff, right? And it established a $200 transfer tax, or what they call a tax stamp, on the transfer of these items. When you adjust that to today's money, that's actually $4,550 according to the internet. So that amount hasn't changed since the law was enacted in 1934.
Thank God they didn't index it to inflation back then.
Well, let's not let anybody know that. And the other thing that it did was it regulated and taxed those people, those dealers who were going to be transacting and selling those things. So people that would be importing and selling. So you couldn't just go into a general store after this took effect and buy a Thompson submachine gun, which, believe it or not, prior to this, you could do that.
The things they have taken from us.
So the $200 tax stamp in today's money, again, like I said, $4,550, give or take, it was designed to be prohibitive. They didn't want people to have these things. And so, this tax cost more than the gun, cost more than many guns, cost more than a car at that time. So that was essentially the purpose of it.
But that was assuming someone was actually going to illegally purchase this weapon.
Well, and a lot of people did.
Or item.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Because theft didn't exist back then?
Al Capone was known for his scrupulous payment of taxes and following the NFA.
So how did this come to be, Duane?
Well, so President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill had language in it that removed the $200 tax stamp on suppressors and any other weapons and short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns. And it goes into effect on January 1st of 2026. But Andrew, what is this bird rule that we keep hearing about?
Originally, proponents of the bill attempted to expand the scope of the NFA rescission that was present in the reconciliation bill. The late senator from West Virginia, Robert Byrd, he is famous for what's known as the Byrd Rule or bird bathing. And that is under a reconciliation package as to what occurred here, how this bill passed. Only items that are directly related to fiscal, i.e. money issues, can be included in the reconciliation. The Senate parliamentarian hears arguments from both sides and determines if the issue at hand is a fiscal issue, thus not subject to the filibuster and can be passed under reconciliation, or, in this case, some of the more expansive language she determined was not fiscally related and thus had to be stripped out of the bill. So members of the House Freedom Caucus and other liberty lovers attempted to expand the rescission, but unfortunately, but we'll take it, only the $200 tax stamp was determined to be fiscally related. And that's fiscal with an F.
And as a fiscal matter, we have some data. So producer Jimmy, if you could scroll down a little bit for me, please. Some interesting information for our viewers, perhaps. The estimated annual stamp revenue, this comes from the ATF from the fiscal year 2023, was $200 million. So really a drop in the bucket when you look at the big picture. Suppressor transfers that took place in fiscal 2023 was 512,000, and they project that after this takes effect, January 1 of 26, that there will be potentially 1 million application backlog.
So if you're a cheap SOB, get it in on January 2nd. If you're not, go crazy now, because the delays after January 1st are going to probably be outrageous.
Well, Jeff, what do you think about the people that already paid this tax since it's been in effect?
Well, they lost $200. They're not going to get it back.
No refunds?
No.
A government agency does not give refunds.
When have you ever gotten money back?
On the 35th of Neverwary once.
So you guys are correct. You guys are 100% correct. There is no retroactive refunds on this. If you've already paid, and anything that you pay from now up to the end of the year, you're still going to pay that tax. So you're not gonna get your money back. And I might add that machine guns and destructive devices are not touched by this. So they would remain, you still would have to pay the tax stamp on them. And Maryland still maintains its regulations as far as registration. So there's no state change to any of this for Maryland residents.
Because the bill was purely fiscally related.
So, Andrew, people that aren't getting their money back, what do you think about that?
Who's surprised? What you need to do is contact your representative, contact your senator, and keep the momentum going, and let's push for a full repeal.
And when you do that, make sure that you comment below, let us know that you did. And by the way, let us know what they said so that everybody else can see it. Okay, so moving on to some stakeholder reactions. The NRA-ILA obviously supported this. The Firearms Policy Coalition had a mixed review on it. They were disappointed that the original language was removed, but I'm sure we all were. The Brady and Everytown campaign, obviously they oppose. And the Gun Owners of America and Firearms Policy Coalition are currently looking for plaintiffs. Andrew, your thoughts?
Saw emails today, as a matter of fact. They're looking for plaintiffs in Second Amendment friendly jurisdictions. The estimated cost for this type of litigation, they're putting it around $500,000 to $1 million. So they're also kindly asking for donations.
So, Andrew, as we move forward in the election cycle into 2026, could we see attempts to reinstate this or some other nonsense?
I'm certain you will see attempts to reinstate it. As long as the Republicans hold the Senate, it's probably dead on arrival. And as long as Trump is the president, I imagine he would veto it. So I do not think it will be easily reinstated, but at the same time, be prepared. Evil forces will be at work.
So, Duane, you said this doesn't affect state law. Does that mean that states also have a tax stamp on these items?
No, Maryland doesn't, but it just means that, well, yeah, they haven't found a tax that they don't like yet. But no, you would still have to follow all of the reporting and registration and purchase requirements as they exist. But there is no Maryland tax stamp on the items that we're discussing. So just in summary, $200 tax stamp gone for suppressors, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons. The machine guns and destructive devices remain the same. State law is unchanged, and the paperwork is essentially the same to purchase those items. Expect a fairly large backlog as we get into next year, and also pay attention because things, they are a-changing. And with that said, remember to subscribe to this channel. If you like this content, if you're interested and you want to know more and you want updates, you're not going to get them if you're not subscribed, more than likely. So make sure you don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, and all that for the Urban Defense Podcast. I'm Duane Urban. Remember, knowledge is mental ammunition, and train, fight, and win.